On behalf of our presenting sponsor, Adam Opel AG, please welcome Alain Visser, Vice President Sales, Marketing and After Sales, Opel Vauxhall.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now, don't worry, I know the last thing you want to hear tonight is a speech from a car guy, a Belgian car guy, can you imagine? Now, you may think, what the heck does a car industry or a car manufacturer has to do with Cinema for Peace? Quite a big conflict. But believe me, it isn't true. It's all about emotions, it's about passion, it's about commitment. And if you think about this brutal car industry with factories and a lot of people and this very tough business, and you get into it, into the details of it and how we talk about cars and products, you'll find out that at the core of this business, it's all about little boys playing with little toys. It's all about emotions, it's a lot of passion. And those boys who play with toys when they talk about car are the same people that, I think a little bit like Bob said in the beginning, you can't change the world making films. You probably can't change the world also by producing cars, but you can at least contribute something to it. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's why we started a couple of years ago to start really seriously promoting the electric mobility with a car called the Ampera. You'll see another little example of it outside, a car called the RAC-E, a very emotional vehicle. And people think electric cars are not emotional, they're boring. Well, believe me, they aren't. They can be very, very emotional because at the end of the day, we like the passion about cars. Now, we like to go beyond making passionate cars as well, but also make a contribution to the environment in promoting some activities that also protect the globe. And Project Earth, as you have seen on the film, has been one of our most important projects where we've really tried to make a very strong symbol in terms of protecting the environment. And I was very pleased that our very, I think, strong ambassador, Katie Melua, joined us on that trip. So if I can invite Katie on stage. Katie, while you were in these beautiful places, I was probably test driving some cars. Tell me, how was it?
It was absolutely incredible. I got to go to the Arctic, which is such an extraordinary part of the world. And it was completely life-changing. I was absolutely delighted to be part of Project Earth.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here obviously with some nominations.
There's a mass extinction occurring on the planet today.
I would consider that this mass extinction issue is surely a greater crisis, impending disaster, than terrorism or even a nuclear exchange, and I'm choosing my words here very carefully. In many ways, it's the biggest crisis since we came out of our caves 10,000 years ago, no less.
אני מעריך שבזמן התקיפה הזאת הוא עשה מה שאנשים עושים, הוא ניתק את עצמו לגמרי. זו הדרך היחידה להתמודד עם המצב הזה. אבל הוא נשאר מנותק. ונוכח המצב אין מנוס, אלא לשקול אשפוז במחלקה סגורה בבית החולים הפסיכיאטרי.
As a last resort, I recommended the Maverick approach, dolphin therapy.
עד היום אני חושב, כאילו כשאני סוחט, אז אני מדמיין את עצמי חי כדולפין. זה היום הראשון שלי פה.
You're looking at a slowly enacted catastrophe. The consumption of the remaining rainforests of the world in exchange for temporary food cropping cannot make sense. You've got to learn from what the forest is doing. It's the most sustainable, most productive ecosystem on the planet.
The point about using an agroforestry system is to at least retrieve, retain and recycle the key nutrients.
You're simulating what's going on in the forest. The future of this entire system rests in people who are going to spread this.
It's got to work. It's going to work. It's going to take whatever it takes to make it work.
A powerful explosion of an oil rig off the coast of Louisiana.
This is the worst environmental disaster in the history of our country.
This is what BP still can't control. Louisiana's shrimpers worry the dispersant is not good for them or their catch, and they want BP to stop using it.
They put pollution in pollution. That's not the solution.
In the winter of 2004, in a remote region of southern China, a small group of environmental activists and journalists set out on a journey to save one of the last wild rivers in China. Against the odds, they awakened a new kind of green activism that could transform China.
C'est très simple, que tous les gros problèmes étaient toujours liés à l'eau.
80% of the villages have no light. It's not 80%, it's 99%.
Ici aujourd'hui à l'électricité, vraiment ça va nous permettre de travailler la nuit.
My role in Mali is basically that as an educator, I am working to get things started.
This project is about building like some solar panels in Mali with local material to make it as cheap as we can, and we can try to make it possible for villagers to buy it,
Oh, these are the very first PV modules ever made in West Africa, as far as we know.
Fire bombings included attacks on lumber mills, wild horse corrals, and meat packing plants.
This investigation was the largest domestic terrorism case in the history of the United States.
Sometimes when you see things you love being destroyed, you just want to destroy those things.
The goal is to just send a message that consumer America is destroying the world.
Eco-terrorism.
Eco-terrorism. You don't have to be Bonnie and Clyde to be a bank robber, and you don't have to be Al-Qaeda to be a terrorist.
An explosive power the size of a Hiroshima bomb once a week.
People have had enough, and they're standing up to the coal company.
How can Massey Coal have 60,000 violations? 60,000 violations, and nobody in the state came and stopped them? What if somebody robbed a bank 60,000 times?
The winner is?
Burning in the Sun.
Please welcome the winners of the International Green Film Award. Director Morgan Robinson, producer Claire Weingarten, and Dr. Richard Komp.
Hello. On behalf of my co-director, Cambria Matlow, who couldn't make it here tonight, and my co-producer, Claire Weingarten, I would like to humbly and emotionally accept this fantastic award from the Foundation for Peace. I dedicate this award to Daniel Dembele and his company, Afrique Power, and their nonprofit partner, Practical Small Projects. May they continue to change the lives of rural Africans, one solar-powered village at a time. And may other green entrepreneurs and micro-entrepreneurs gain our attention and help the world become developed in a sustainable way.
I'd also like to thank the other people involved in the film, Carolina, Loriana, Kouyaté, and all the people in Banco that we met there. Also like to thank friends and family for their support, and to introduce Dr. Richard Komp, who is really the scientist behind the whole project. He's made it possible by empowering countless people around the world to build and make their own affordable solar panels.
Okay. I'm Richard Komp, and this is a complete surprise to me. I found out about having to come here about 8 days ago, and I got my plane tickets 4 days ago, and I got in yesterday from Nicaragua, where I have been working with the Grupo Phoenix and the Mujeres Solas de Totogalpa, the solar women of Totogalpa, to work on solar ovens. I have been back to Mali twice since the movie was made. The movie has about 1/3 of the entire story. The last time I was there, which was a little less than 2 years ago, I went around with Daniel Dembwe and Loriana and some of the other people, including a batch of orphans, which got trained how to do all this, and they're now running the company, not the country. And I visited 4 different villages and saw 6 schools that have been powered. Altogether, I worked in 5 different countries in Africa doing the same thing. I go to places and teach people how to build their own solar modules to power themselves. It's called Power to the People, literally. And I'm leaving tomorrow to go back to Nicaragua, where we're working on a new kind of solar oven that's very portable, that can be carried by the llamas up in the Incas and on camels in fact, earlier on this very same trip, I haven't been home yet. I was in Niger doing the same thing in the Sahara Desert, and next week I'm going to be in Honduras doing it. Thank you.
Spiders making silky castles. There are bears with kingdom in their eyes. They say we'll find our treasure on the day we realize how to walk lightly on the world and take each step like the first, to walk lightly on the world, on the world. The earth can turn 1,000 miles an hour, and we fly with it every day. And if we knew how far we were going, we'd know in every way how to walk lightly on the world and take each step like the first, to walk lightly on the world, on the
Thank you.